Okay?
Well, I mean, with all of the mess and unnecessary stuff out there, it's like it's clouding of what you should pay attention to. Like it is an investigation. We are trying to figure things out just like everybody else, but they throwing so much mess in the game. Like it's like, what do you pay attention to?
Hey, what's going on, my good people? We're still looking into the disappearance of Alexis Ware from South Carolina. And I know there's a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation. I mean, it's gotten really messy. But you can't overlook key details in the case. Some details can't be overlooked. The devil is in the details. And in this video right here, we're going to look at a couple of things. So, come on, ride with me.
Hey, it's your neighbor upstairs.
What's up?
I was letting you know that I ain't gonna lie, I do like root work and shit like that, but good and bad.
Now, we should all be familiar with this ring footage by now. And it happened on Wednesday, January the 26th, just a few days prior to her going missing. And when she approached this neighbor's door, the neighbor didn't open the door, but she's talking to her through the ring footage. And it was like the very first thing that came out of Alexis' mouth was, I ain't gonna lie, I do root work, both good and bad. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I couldn't understand why she led with that. Like I pointed out in the last video, clearly they wasn't that cool, okay? But it was still like, why lead the conversation with that? It felt like in that very moment that an explanation was needed. But for what though? That's what I couldn't figure out. Then there was some information that had come out about Alexis burying a box near her apartment. And at first I was like, what? She was burying a box? For what? But then when I started to research root work, it seems burying things is common practice when dealing with root work, okay? Now, her sister and her aunt did an interview over on Neek at Night's on her platform. And if you haven't watched the whole video, the whole interview, I would suggest going over there and watching it. But there was a few things that came out in that interview that I felt like needed to be addressed. Listen to what the aunt says about this box. Pay attention.
But the neighbor did say she dug up a box
In her apartment building?
outside.
Is there
Outside
any,
of the.
is there any dig holes around there?
I didn't go personally and look. The activist Tracy said her and her people did go up there. But no, I haven't been up there. She said, oh, my sister said the box is not there. But Tracy did go up there and she said that she did see that something was dug up outside.
Yeah. So the neighbor who recorded this ring footage told them that Alexis was seen digging up a box. Don't nobody know where the box is at, none of that. Okay? But the aunt said she didn't go over there. Now, Alexis was living in Rocky Creek Apartments during this time. And the aunt told us that the black activist on the case named Tracy went over to these apartments and she witnessed what appeared to be an area that looked like something had been dug up. But again, nobody knows where this box is, okay? Based off of that information, it explained a few things. And first and foremost, it explained why she even went to the neighbor's house. If they're telling them that they saw her back there digging up something, then in my mind, Alexis saw them watching her. You understand what I mean? And then she went to the neighbor's house to explain herself, to explain what it was she was doing out there. Which is why when she knocked on that lady's door, she led with this whole shit about root work. They saw her. Hmm? And not only that, that's probably why the neighbor didn't open the damn door. Because understand this. Uh, Imagine seeing your neighbor digging up something in the backyard and then all of a sudden they at your door. You gonna open the door? I'm not. I'm scared. Because I don't know what it is you up to. See? And it explains what it was she had in her hand and what she was using this for. I thought it was a cake cutter because that's what it looked like to me. Some people was calling it a knife. Don't even know. But it looks like a tool you can use to dig up something. So when Alexis approached this neighbor's door, she was caught in the act, which is why she needed to explain herself and why she still had that thing in her hand. Now, since I've started researching this case, what I've come to learn is that we have a couple family members over here who deal in root work. Blew my mind. And this is no disrespect to them, but I just felt like we needed to know a little bit more about what it was Alexis was involved in. And, you know, I enjoyed picking their brains. And one of the things that they told me is that when you deal in root work and you're dealing in casting spells, the items left over after you cast this spell is supposed to be disposed of. And proper disposal is very important. And there's a few ways you can do this. You can bury it in the yard. You can put it in the river. You can take it to the crossroads, which is like an intersection. And then not only that, some of these items, depending on the spell, has to be disposed of in the graveyard. Hmm? I also learned that burying something in the backyard keeps something or someone close to you when dealing with love work, love spells. And that struck me because of the conversation that Alexis had with the neighbor. Because right after she told her neighbor that she does root work, she went on to talk about her ex. Hmm? And let's not forget what Alexis called and told TJ the night before she went to the neighbor's house. Remember this?
Boom, god dang on. Before Lex took this, her being missing, Lex was I don't know, she was dealing with some kind of spiritual root shit. I don't know what was going on. She was just been talking out outside her head, you know what I'm saying? So Tuesday night, 1:30 in the morning, she called me out she called wake me up talking about some TJ. She say, I know you sleep, I know you gotta work in the morning. She say, but let me tell you something right quick. I'm like, what you talking about? What's up? She talking about some well, my last 5 exes within the last 7 years they died. Huh? What you talking about? She said, I wish death upon them. I said, bro, you is tripping. You know what I'm saying? You need help, man. Get off my phone. You talking crazy. I hung up.
So Alexis called TJ Tuesday night to tell him that she's wished death upon her last 5 exes. And they died. So in her mind, whatever it was she did worked. Know that. And that made me think that this box that she dug up may have had something to do with this ex that she spoke of in that ring footage. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We still ride. Now, TJ told us that he left Alexis in October of 2021. We know she went missing in January. So we're talking about 3 months in between. Now, in that ring footage, she was talking about an ex. So are we to assume that TJ is the ex that she's referring to? Or did she start dating someone else? I think she started dating someone else. But that's just my opinion, you know. But I feel like there's someone else. And it's somebody else that's not being put in the spotlight. But they should be. Hmm? From the start of this case, TJ was put in the spotlight, in my opinion, because he was the last one to have seen her. As he should be, though. You start with the person who they were last seen with. Okay? So again, yeah, I understood them starting with TJ. But there was a lot of things that came out about him just in these YouTube streets, Facebook, you know, about his character. A lot of people was taking a dig on his character, his street ways. Yeah, no. But now understand this. There were some things that came out that I've seen that had me on pause. And I'm like, oh my. Yeah, no. But for me, my question was, did he have anything to do with what happened to Alexis? To me, that's the question. And there's a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors and stuff like that going around about TJ. But I feel like some of the things that I'm hearing, there's a lot of people who are dismissing one key factor in this case. And that's the fact that TJ was wearing an ankle monitor. Hmm? You can't look past that. Whatever you think happened, you can't look past that. Now, I don't know if some people just don't know what an ankle monitor is or what it's used for, or if just people are just so hell bent on crucifying him that they ain't giving a damn about the ankle monitor. How can you take them serious? Hmm? So I think we need to touch on this for a minute, for the people in the background that don't fully understand this, okay? Ankle monitors are electronic devices that the court uses to keep track of offenders. These devices ensure that they don't travel outside of a boundary established by the court. Now, these ankle monitors are nothing more than GPS systems. And you have to understand that some of the people that are required to wear these ankle monitors, they're not restricted to their homes. They can go other places, you know? But with these ankle monitors, their location is being tracked 24/7. 24/7. So, as far as I'm concerned, TJ, out of all the people connected to this case, TJ was the easiest to track. Hmm? So when TJ came out and told us, the whole story about he was at Wild Wings watching the game, then he went to his aunt's house and they was watching the game, then he met Alexis at a 7-Eleven, then he went home. Understand this. The police could verify those details with a simple click of a button, all because of that ankle monitor. So TJ's story should have matched what that ankle monitor said. Okay? And not only that, TJ's story matched Alexis's daughter's story. Yeah, Naomi. Naomi was there at the 7-Eleven. And she left with TJ. And you have to understand, when Alexis called him about meeting her at the gas station, he's thinking he's just going to pick up his son. It wasn't until they got there and she asked if Naomi could go with him. This little girl, 9 years old. So it would be crazy to think that the police wasn't going to question her. Of course they did.
Naomi had a whole 3 to 4 hour talk with the detectives. So while everybody's saying, talk to her, talk to her, talk to her, they talked to her for hours, literally. And when we talked to her, asked her about that night, and she says the same thing that TJ says. So we can only believe what she tells us, and she says the same exact thing, that they got gas and my mama drove off real fast and she went the other way.
So Naomi was questioned by detectives and the family. And y'all heard what her family just told y'all. Every time they ask her, this little girl has the same story. Her story has not changed. Okay? And most importantly, her story matches TJ's story. Hmm? The truth don't change, y'all. And that's probably why the police came out and told the family, Alexis' family, that everything TJ told them checked out. It is what it is. Now, some people think he was just the mastermind behind this. And I've yet to see anything, in my opinion, to suggest that. It's all about Alexis coming home, y'all. And I know there's been a topic of discussion over here on this channel about whether or not she left willingly. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think she did. But here's the thing about that. I'm just hoping that she did not meet up with somebody who would take advantage of her during this time. Because it seems like she was a little unstable. So even though I feel like she left willingly, I'm just hoping she didn't meet up with harm. You understand what I'm saying? I say this because when they found her car on Wednesday, February the 2nd, her cell phone and her purse was still in the car. We can't overlook that. And not only that, they said that the hair bonnet that she was seen in at the 7-Eleven was laying outside the car when they found it. Let's talk about it. I'll meet y'all in the comments.
Everything is it's a mystery to us as well as it is to you guys.